Good morning, everyone. I thought I would have time to set up. I did. It's been a while, and I usually just go outside and let everything run. I'm here. I'm trying to get my other device set up where I will be able to communicate. I'm gonna show stuff that I found, and everybody's seen me pick up in the videos. I mean, if you watched it. But I'll go ahead and get started on that. This is all wood that has turned to rock. It's just different kinds and different things that I've found. I know I need to be up here, so I'm going to work my way through this where I can scoop this up. So I'm gonna sit here and just get situated. So if you'll bear with me for a few minutes, I'm gonna get my little deal set up here. I'm not experienced enough to know exactly where I need things to be, so I'm gonna move things around where I can. All this is wood. Well, it used to be. It's actually rock. It's silica and opal now. I've been doing some research this morning and found out I had that white stuff right there is actually opalized petrified wood. The terminologies just twist my tongue. It's like another language when you try to learn. And I know I need to be up here where I can be out of chat. Let me go up a little further. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly take all this down. But I don't feel the need to go through every bit of it. Even though I know a lot of you seen how hard I worked for this and how long it took me to find it. A year. And it's strange that on my year anniversary of YouTube, I've been here 1 year now, and I found it on that year. I think that's good enough. Is that good and centered? Let me do a couple of, make sure everybody knows that you can share your link. If you have an upcoming event, go ahead and do that. I just wanted to show this stuff where I can actually put it away. I'm probably going to end up working on it later when I start polishing and stuff, because when you have something like this, it really polishes up nice. I wanted to start out with the more simple pieces. Let me fix my... I had to make myself go ahead and do this really quickly, or I'll talk myself out of it. All right, I want to move this here. I'll put that under there. Okay. I usually clean up my stuff better, but I'm good. All right. This, it may be hard to believe that that is wood. And you can see where something was living inside of it. You can tell more that it was wood that way. And working with, if you haven't worked with Gemini, Google Gemini yet, you should try that out, because you can ask questions and get the best answers. And that you need to look that up yourself in Google. This is considered to be opalized petrified wood. It just shocked me how white it was. I'm going to go through it real quick. Not going to spend a lot of time with it. Even though I really like it, it's not what I was really after. but you can see the wood in that. And this came from that impact crater. And I found out through using Gemini that the reason I'm finding so many different types is that I'm in a really rich geological area, and that the meteor impact crater disturbed the layers of geological time, is why I'm finding so many different types and colors and different things of this wood. But you can see it sounds like dishes. Okay, I'm going to start putting this away as I show it. I love these pieces because they're white, and I realize how this is gonna shine when I polish it. It's gonna be absolutely amazing. I'm just gonna start putting stuff over here to make room for more. Some of the bigger, nicest pieces. I just want to show this real quick. This was that piece of wood antler. I hadn't learned how to set my camera up yet, but I'm gonna get this off of my table because it's so big and clumsy it's gonna fall. This is a larger piece I'm gonna get off of here. Just for me, see, that is a burn from time where it was burned, because I have soaked and cleaned all of this. You can see some of the white inside of it. It's just always amazing to me that this is actual stone. This I found on that last video by the artesian well that was coming into the crater, Impact Crater Creek. Amy, I don't have, I'm going to do this. Usually I share a lot of links and stuff, so please forgive me. I'm doing this. This is another piece that I was going to show you. This is that white, and this is a petrified wood, and it would be considered ancient, like when we were in Pangea, one piece, and then it is covered in a white skin. I have cut it, and that's what it reveals when you cut it. This is what people make things with, because it's so beautiful, and it actually will shine. Light can shine through it. Let me turn this off. I'm not going to do this a lot. There's just a couple of pieces I do want to show how beautiful it can be, and how you don't realize that a rock like this would actually be able to shine through, and that I didn't practice this or set up. I'm just doing it. That's the best way I do stuff. If I think about it too much, I won't do it. So I just have to turn it on and go. Okay. But yeah, that is some beautiful stuff right there. I was really amazed, because when I first started this rock hounding, I joined a lapidary club, and I didn't know what this was. I knew it was something because of these lines that were in here, and I knew by watching different things that those lines were actually silica. So this would be considered a agatized petrified wood. And then I've just cut it to where I have an end piece, and I have this piece to where I could show what it looked like on, on the inside. to show that there is more to these pieces of wood. This piece here is going to be so big, I don't think we're going to cover it. And you can see the knot in this piece. It's really heavy. This is wood, but it's stone. And I cut it, and you can see the rings in the wood. I'm not going to wet it, but when it's wet, that's really beautiful here. And this would just be what you'd actually call a normal piece of, I use it as a stand. I have it set like this on my mantle, and I put stuff like that, beautiful things like crystals, stuff like that. I'll just fix them up in different ways, and I have it on my mantle above my fireplace. But I just wanted to get these big pieces out of the way before I start showing my crystals that I'm so proud of. Because if you've watched any of my videos, I'm just going to lay some of these out where people can see them. It's all different stuff. This right here was crystals at one point, and just the process of them flowing down a creek just dulled it out where, it's not, you can't really see it very well. Amy, I'm going to go ahead and give you a jacket. I think I did that wrong. Okay. Hey, Sick. It's so good to see you. I hadn't seen you around a lot. I'm not as active as I was, but hello. I am showing my adventure from last week, and y'all watched me pick these up out of the dirt. See, that would be opalized inside that, and that's just good old-fashioned petrified wood. And the amazing part's going to be when you see this shined, when I polish it. And you'll definitely tell that it's wood. I found one piece of pottery. Oh, no, I have another large piece. That's from ancient people. I always try to look for fingerprints and things on here. I have another piece that's quite large. I'll show that later. I don't want to get this mixed up with anything. This is another large piece. You can see it's big as my hand, and it weighs quite a bit. And I guess this would be a mixture of all of it, like an agatized, opalized, petrified wood. That is a mouthful. I used to call it all fossils. I don't know if I'm going to be able to download this into a video style, so I tried to set it up the best I could, but I don't think that people go and replay live streams, so I don't know. I just wanted to show what I worked so hard for, and I knew that there would be an audience this morning. This is a piece that is hard to see because in the process it was smushed. The way you really find that you have your wood is you'll find it's called a weave, a basket weave. And sometimes you have to get it wet. And I'm not doing all that this morning. I'm just wanting to get through this where I can get it off of my desk. So you can see some char here from in the past. I just want to get this stuff off my desk where I can start new. I went to that new creek and the snakes ran me out of there. I tried my best. I'm always talking about snakes, but that place changed so much. This is all the stuff that I was finding. And still, for somebody that looks for stones like I do and like a lot of people do, this is good stuff. Y'all give me just 1 second. I have a little something I got to let outside and let her use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to serve coffee. I want to show. I don't know what to do on my right. Oh, there it is. See how that black is inside that? It's actually red. I'm not sure. This is another. I'm going to try to show this. I hadn't practiced, so I don't. That's sunlight from my window. The sun came up. Don't know how this is up. You can see it a little bit right there, that light going through that stone. But when I polish this, I'll polish this all off. And I'll end up with a red stone that can be polished. And I believe that would be called agatized. But when you're sitting here doing it by yourself, you got time to go through everything. Then when you try to show someone, I'm sure people know. That just looks like a rock when it's on the ground. I got really lucky with the finds that I was getting out of that impact crater creek. See, the impact crater is round like this, and the walls come up, and I was in the middle running a creek that runs through the middle of the big walls that go up around the crater, where it hit and blew up the walls like that. And it was millions of years ago. So it's hard to even tell that anything happened there. And when I was young, they didn't even know that that's what had happened, but they knew that something happened because of all the stone that was there, and it didn't supposed to be there. I did find this. This is a beautiful crystal that I found. You can see that color in there. And I thought it was glass when I first found it, but it don't have any edges. And then you can see the flat. It was actually a crystal point. So that means, that tells me that there's big, nice crystals there. And that would be a quartz crystal. And that may not be much to some, but some realize how exciting that can be. Yeah, me too, Sharon. I'm extremely happy about that snake not biting me. This is another crystal. And see, what I'm showing today is not going to be from that snake pit that I was in. I will not be going back there, matter of fact. It was a lot worse than the first time I went in there, that's not what it looked like. I mean, it was bad, but this is another this is another that seam chalcedony. This shines up unbelievably beautiful. You can see a little sparkle there. And see how it was, this is the actual real top of it, and that's the real bottom. So it was a seam that grew in between two pieces of rock like that. That's actually a real edge. But that's enough of that. I want to get to these. This was my prize. And this is what I'd been looking for the whole time. It is hard to, I didn't even think about using this because I can't really zoom in the way I usually do with my camera. This is what they call brilliant Alabama petrified wood. And it's rare, and it's found in Marion County, Alabama, and that is about 100 miles or more above me, up to the north of me. And then the only other place in the world you can find it is in my county, Elmore County. Well, I have been looking for it forever. And I mean, and you can hear me in my videos. I'm always talking about my sparkly petrified wood that I want so bad. And, you know, I'm going to find it one day and all that kind of stuff. It's hard to get that sparkle to come over in a camera. I'm trying to shine a light from the back, but it's not going to work like that. Just going to have to do the best. I was taught by an old pro to get it out of focus, and then you can actually see the little smoky quartz crystals that grow inside of it. And they look like little emerald cut diamonds, and they're layered. You can see that square structure there. See how that is? And at one point, this was one of those square structures, just like that. But the top got knocked out and exposed the inside of it. Got my little honey hole down here. This is another piece. This is all crystals here. They're in all these cracks. All of this. These structures here go in. and that's opalized. You can see that I don't know why. I guess the camera, because I've seen other people struggle with it, and I'm sure there's better lighting. I don't have a lot of experience with trying to show this stuff. And that's the best part about what I'm doing is I'm learning. All that's those crystals. I'm sorry if I'm not responding to people. I'm trying to pay attention to this and what I'm doing where I can show it like I want to. And I'm not able to give as much attention as I normally like to do during these things. Here is a smaller piece that's really beautiful. And people collect this. I am the kind of person that likes to find it. See, you would never know if you've seen that on the ground. Plus, if you watch the videos, you've seen how dirty this was. And then it's heavy on the bottom, so it's always like that when you find it. Then you flip it over and you realize what you have. Well, it's usually full of dirt, so you don't see it. And it is just beautiful the way it sparkles. And there's people that know how to treat that to where it would be even more pretty, if that's a word, more pretty. I don't know. I'm Southern, so we don't use language correct, but it is what it is. See that square crystal right there? It's not gonna come in like I like. It's a beautiful little piece. I really like this one. But when you find it, you don't know you have it. You just know that you've got a piece of petrified wood, and you can tell by the way it's done that there's crystals in it. All this is crystals. This. Let's see if I can get my focus. These are darker. Let me hold it up where we can see that sparkle. And it's easier to come in. This is an experiment in a way. I'm going to see if I'll be able to download this afterwards and actually make a regular video with it. Now this piece is completely covered, every angle. You can see fortification lines in the middle there, but it is completely covered in crystals. I hate that I can't answer questions. Maybe when we're finished, I'll stop and just if anybody has any questions, I'll be more than happy to try my best to answer it or look it up and see if I can find it for you. Because like I said, I am working with a artificial intelligence. It's Google Gemini, and it's just really been helping me a lot because I have the lack of the terminology and the things that I have found have just been amazing. And you don't even know what you have. So to be able to have something that helps you discover things is just amazing in this new world. And again, this is Alabama Brilliant petrified wood. You can see the bark here, part of this, another inner layer of the wood. And when I found it, it was covered in mud and sand. So I didn't even see this until I got back with it and started scrubbing. You can see that bark layer there. And it seems the biggest crystals is going to be in that cavity. Okay. It's a huge piece of pottery I found. This is another piece. So that is so rare, and I've been looking for it for so long. It lets you know why I got so excited when I started finding it. Because I had really been looking. And I know people, a lot of people are just like, well, you got a rock with Jersey on it. And that's DRUSY, Jersey? Yeah, I guess. Anyway, but this is a special piece of petrified wood that comes from Alabama with a smoky quartz that range from light to brown to even black. And it was just something that I knew it was rare and hard to find, so I made that my goal because I figured, that would be a good goal that, when I found it, I'd be happy that I found it. And it wouldn't be something I could just go outside and find real quick. I actually had to search for a year. And then on my anniversary of being on YouTube for 1 year, I found it. And I'm happy with my findings. And I've got several different beautiful pieces. And I'm fixing to go through them all. You can see the wood grain in this one. I'm not sure if that's got, I think I just kept that as part of this just to show the wood grain. And see, at one point before this got beat down, all of this, I know it's blurry when I do that. I'm trying to show that sparkle. It's a little too small. All this dark area was all sparkled before it went through the creek for however many years it's been exposed to the creek. I'll just move past this. Okay, give me just 1 minute. I had to get up, let my little dog out, and serve coffee. But right now, I need to let her in. She's knocking at the door. It won't take me but a second, and I'll be right back. Okay, am I back? Good deal. Hey, Miss Ava, so good to see you. I'm sorry, I'm gonna sit here for a second, and y'all feel free to share any links you got, anything coming up you got going. Please share that where people can visit you. Y'all always feel free when I do this to connect. Yeah, I seen when I came back, I seen that I got lucky because I was away feeding the dog. letting the dog back in, and I had to serve my mother coffee. It's morning time here, and I'm trying to show my beautiful treasure. All those are there. If I blur up like this, it's because I'm wanting to show those sparkles like that, and they don't show well in regular light. That's what they call agatized because of the way the chalcedony set up in those cracks. In this piece here, it's just been tumbled in the creek so long, you can see the imprint here of maybe something kind of like bamboo. See that line that goes across it there, where it was a piece and a piece. It's just been worn so much, and then it has a cavity there. They call that a vug, V-U-G. That's a V-U-G, vug. For a long time, when I first started doing this a year ago, I thought they were saying bug, B-U-G, because I thought bugs were in these holes. But that's not what they were saying. But I guess they thought it was a funny joke because nobody told me. I had to find out on my own, which that's the best way to find out. This is a smaller piece, but all of this are just little bitty sparkles. That's not working with that one. On the smallest ones, it don't work as well. But when you've been looking for something, that's the way it looked when I picked it up. And then that was covered in mud. So I didn't discover this structure and all the little crystals that are in it until after I'd cleaned it. I'm just reaching down and picking up pieces. I don't know what I have. And these are just covered. These is more pieces. This is all petrified wood. I want to get into the stop. I want to get into the basket weave. I also like to find that in the pieces. A lot of this has been worn down so much you can't see it. Let me get me a few pieces and put them up here. I guess I got a notification. I usually try to turn that off. That means I need to turn, oh well, it don't matter. You can see the crystals running here. I am this is a piece of the wood. And after I cleaned it, I realized this whole section here, you see the wood running at the top. This whole section was all crystal. And it's just been worn down over the years to where you can see the sparkle. And it's going to take a beautiful polish. There's no telling what that's going to look like when it's all polished out. If it's just not somebody needs it for just a piece to have. But in my mind, oh, thank you so much, Ava. That is so sweet of you. I appreciate that more than you know. Now I know how that makes y'all feel so good. I never understood. That is unreal. I don't know how to act when that happens for me. It makes me feel strange. I guess I'll get used to it. This piece, I don't know how to, y'all pin those things, and I don't know how to, uh-oh. Let me get back. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. I forgot I can't touch that. Okay. I don't know how to do it. Give me just a second, everybody. I want to be more appreciative, and I like to say I have good manners, and sometimes I can just not see things, but I truly appreciate it. And and I take my gifts as they come like that, but they are totally not expected. I'm not. I do appreciate it, and I don't want to make it something that it's not. There, look at there. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. I've been to so many places, and when you see it happening to you, this is the first time that's been like this for me. I've had people do stuff, but it's amazing. That's agatized, and see, I can't hardly talk now. It's going in there, and it comes out here, so it's going in an angle. And you see that dark there, that'll go red when it's taken out and polished. I don't know how to act. I am a Usually I'm a giver. So givers have to learn how to receive, and I'm learning. That's what's so exciting for me, that I'm actually getting a money from YouTube now. See that is different than the wood, and it is part of being petrified, and it's part of the petrification. But what you end up with is a different kind of stone. This also shines through. It's a silica. And remember, I'm learning, so I could say these things wrong. So I'm learning, and I'm just letting myself do it freely this morning, because I dared myself to do it, and I had to get online and just, like, show you stuff, man. Just do what you can do. Don't worry about it, and just see what happens. If you can see around that light how that stone turns red, that gives you an idea of what it looks like when they'll cut that stone out of there. I wished it shone through, and it may in a dark room, but I got sunlight, and then I got my camera light going. But you can see that red, that dark, rich red. So that will be a flawless red. I don't know what they would call that. I know it's silica, but I'm not sure what they would call that if it was removed and a stone was actually worked out of that. And for the fact that it's Alabama beauty, or what do we call that? Brilliant. Alabama brilliant stone. And it has the crystals in it. And then I have other pieces that you can see where the crystals are, and they're not so brilliant. But when you discover something, it's like picking up, for me, I get the same thrill out of picking up change. I like to find change on the ground, and I get thrills. It thrills me to find money. Even just a little penny, I will pick it up. A lot of people don't pick those things up. I couldn't imagine living in a world where I didn't pick up money that people work for, and you're going to look down at the ground and see money and you don't pick it up. This is a beautiful piece that I found by that artesian well that was coming into that impact crater creek. All these dark areas here were once extremely nice crystals and they've been worn down. But it looks like it's opalized wood. From my research, that's what it tells me. I'm not absolutely sure about that, and I will stand corrected. Anybody that knows me understands that I'm trying to learn. So in learning, if I say something wrong, please feel free. You see the roundness of the limb, that this once was a limb, but those crystals are in there, have formed inside of that there. And then you can see the bands now that come on the outside of it, and it just gets torn up as the thousands of years goes by while it's in the creek or mountain or underground, the different processes it goes through to make it out into the open. And each piece is unique. You can always see the crystals where the dark lines are. I need to turn this down because I hear myself. There. That is a strange feeling when you hear yourself speaking from somewhere else. You can see the different structures down in there. See those little balls? It's just so fascinating to me. I'd been looking at this stuff all my life, but I never knew what I was really looking at. This is some more of that. On my research today, I found that when it's white like this, it's considered opalized. Now, this is not going to be your brilliant opal with the beautiful colors of the opal. It's just, I think it's the structure of the way the silica is formed. Instead of crystals, they form a round ball, which is microscopic, but when they come in the thousands, it creates a uh, white silica-rich piece of petrified wood that is, and then this just happens to have that brilliance of the crystals inside of it. And then to me, after I read it, I'm in such a good geological area. When that meteor hit and created that crater, it caused tidal waves and different things that happened that pushed things out and then pulled things in. So it just changed the whole area, and it's what they call a fault line. That's that black silica again running through that piece. It's really smooth. There's a difference between it and the other. I'm not going to waste a lot of time on that. This is another piece that was, you can see where the wood is, And all of this was crystal that's been knocked out by the creek, but it's going to take a shine and be like something you've never, but people don't usually see. You can still see some of the crystals in there, but this was all crystal, and it's just been worn down. Move myself here. And it's just yet again another piece that has all kind of beautiful. There's all these little places are full of different types of crystals and different colors. And this is all, it took days to clean it. You can see how that shimmers in there. And each hole, like that one in the top there, it shimmers and it goes down into the piece. All that shimmer out of here, here. And then you can see down into there where it opens up. And you can tell the difference in the weight of this, that it's kind of hollow in the inside. This is another kind of piece. This here is a silica-rich crystal. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show the sparkles in that or not. But because they're really little. They're just thousands of little sparkles. And it's only in this one spot there. It just amazes me, even though, because see, I've only been doing this a year. So I'm learning. And that's why I'm still so amazed by it. Because for one, I just learning stuff. I've always liked to learn new things. And anytime anybody's ever watching anything that I do, and you hear me running my mouth like I do, and if I say something that's not right, please feel free to come in and tell me. Because, like I said, I'm seek knowledge. Here's a good one with that basket weave. See how that looks like it's been weaved? Like back and forth. And then it's got crystals in it. I'm sorry I'm not able to read everything. I just really wanted to. The truth is, I want to get rid of this, and I want to show it before I just get rid of it, where there'll be a record. If you can remember the square that I was showing you earlier, this is another piece that would be considered opalized, petrified wood. And you can see the structures, because I was always told Mother Nature don't make squares. Well, now I know that's not true because of the things that I have found. You can see inside of these is crystals. And then the best part about this is the bottom for me. When I turned that over and seen that, I was completely surprised because they go down into it. And you see here where this square is still covered. But I just think that is the most beautiful piece. The way the lines move in it, that's what I talk about when I'm looking and I say the movement. And those are crystals. And just the way that moves, that's the line of where the wood was. And a lot of people like me, I didn't realize what we're looking at is a copy of what it once was. This was a piece of wood that was laying in the earth, and over time, the water comes through all these pieces, and the water goes through the wood, and each cell in the wood absorbs what is called mica. And mica is pretty much liquid sand. It's where the sand has come apart into its natural state, which would be minerals in the water that's passing through the wood itself and replacing each cell in the wood. So as it's doing that, it makes a copy of what it's doing. It's like the wood is the pattern, the silica is the material being used to fill in the pattern to create the piece that looks identical to the wood that it is using as a pattern. Ah, that was a mouthful. But this is one of my favorite pieces. Because usually stuff is prettier on camera, but this is actually prettier when you're holding it. I really like it. This is just another white piece. Because when I found out that from my research, it's chalky, but it's not. It's not chalk. It's all rock. But I was told that this would be an opalized petrified wood. And of course, again, it's not brilliant. Brilliant opal is the stuff that you see with the beautiful colors. And that takes another special process for the silica to form that way. These are crystals. And you can see that structure in the middle that goes through this whole piece. And that's just where it hits the outside. Just pulling these out. I don't have anything set up to go look at that. Here we go. I just have to look and figure out why I saved these to show. This would be the, I'm not sure if that would be called a jasper or just silica rich. Uh, no, it's mica. But anyway. And this kind of looks like a burnt remnants of something burned. But I am not sure about that either. It's the skin. And this is just a waxy, shiny part that's inside of the petrified wood. I'm still learning a lot. But that's part of my journey. This is a beautiful piece. It's full of, you can feel it, full of the quartz crystal. And again, this is the brilliant Alabama petrified wood. And there's some nice pieces. I have been online and looked at some of the stuff that's out there, and these are nice. I still plan on heading northwest to Marion County, Alabama, where larger pieces of this is found. I've seen some great pictures and some good YouTube videos in Marion, Alabama. Brilliant. It's called Brilliant Wood. Just get me out. See, this is another piece with that dark in it that shines red when it goes under light. Let me see if I can do this without knocking down my system. If you could only see how I got this rigged up. I'm sure everybody that does this knows. See that sunlight? See that red that's coming through there? That shows you the color of the stone when you get it out of this petrified wood. It'll be a brilliant, brilliant color red. There, that's it. That's better there. You can see how beautiful that is. See, this won't do that over here, this solid wood. But as soon as you get into this silica, then you can see that there's no fractures. It's nice solid pieces that could actually be worked. And what I plan to do, and it has a ridge in it, because a few of these pieces I'm going to actually work a little bit just to get my hands-on experience. See how this raises up here? It's a ridge. And you can actually feel the difference when you're touching this and when your finger slides onto that. You can feel the difference between the two. It looks burnt. And who's to say that it's not? But it actually turned into a silica-rich red stone. And I know it looks black, but it's going to be red one day. And I'm sure there's people out there that knows what that's called. And they'll be able to maybe tell me. This piece here, I can just feel the crystals all over it. But most of them has been worn down over time being in that creek. You can see this whole top is wrapped in those crystals as they go in through. And then you can see the basket weave in here. And here. Sometimes I like these pieces here because they are so different. And you can just see where it was hit. And from me looking in that, spending all that time in that creek, it was amazing to find this stuff in different stages is the only word I could think of. Because that's how I found that agatized. And I'll show that in a minute. That I thought it was, that would be opalized. This would be Jersey quartz. There's my crystals. And you just never know. The more you look at these, the more you find these little details. See, this is all crystals. And it just fills in the voids of the wood and just creates. You would be surprised how many rocks actually used to be wood. This is a nice piece of the opalized wood. It's got pieces that go through it. I love the little spots. And when you feel it, it's just real silky and smooth. I can't wait to polish a piece of that just to see how beautiful that looks with that skin taken off and the inside showing through with those spots. It's a nice heavy piece, but that too would be an opalized, petrified piece of wood. And you can see the sparkles in that one. And that looks like that's going to be. And they're all good sized pieces. From what I've seen, they have some really small pieces. Y'all excuse me, I'm going to take me a sip of coffee. Oh, it's still morning here. I hope everybody's doing good today. I'm sorry I'm not able to read this chat that's running through for me. I see all my great, wonderful members here throwing my tags at me. I appreciate that so much. And I'm sure you understand because you two are creators, YouTubers, and as long as we work together, we have a great team of people to support each other and do what we like to do, be it finding rocks like I do, because I promise you that I have always been interested in rocks. But when I started doing YouTube, I was thinking, what could I do? And then I just thought about rocks. I always loved rocks. I knew the world was made out of rocks. I would never run out of content. And at the time, I didn't realize all the stuff that was around me. And like right here by me, because so far where you've seen me, I'm right here at my house. I am not far from where I live and all the places that I go and find this stuff. And I know this is just the beginning. I'm going to find bigger and better and more beautiful pieces than this. I just picked these out because in my mind, these were some of the prettiest pieces. And I got me a little wagon down there. Summer's coming to an end. But if you watched me last year, you realize that don't matter to me. I'll still get out there and get in it. Because I do not mind wet feet. Let me get my I have some identified pieces, and then I also have some unidentified pieces that I'm going to show. Just this was the stuff that I thought was I need to stabilize it. This is what I thought was fossilized wood that hadn't made it yet. It's got crystals in it. It has, I've got to be careful with it. If you don't keep it wet, it starts drying and deteriorating. That's why I thought it was partially fossilized petrified wood. But actually, this wood is created and it is all called petrified. But this wood has to be pyritized by being in a zero oxygen environment with iron and see, it was iron and anyway, get back to that. I don't do too good on the spot. You can see those these pieces, this here that comes out of this crack. I did a short video on these. I forgot about that. You see how easy it comes apart. Because usually when you find it on the beach, it'll come apart. Then when you take that stuff out of it, this is what you get out of it. And I did a video about these. If you're more interested, you can go in and find those. And again, being blurred, it really shows how pretty this is. But it is beautiful stuff. Now, you can see where it took the form of the wood and the different minerals. It's all petrified. In my mind, I thought petrified was one thing, but it's not. Petrified wood can come in many different forms, and it's still petrified wood, and it is a fossil. But it's according on the minerals that are used by nature that creates the petrified wood. And then you have all different kind of beautiful things. I've seen petrified wood that looks like a rainbow with the colors, especially when it comes in contact with iron. That's how I got that red in some of the pieces that I have. That iron tends to turn quartz red. And that's why we have all our dirt here is usually red. We have a lot of red dirt. I'm going to put these down as I've got several pieces of this. And like I said, I have a video that I did about this stuff that you can go and where in the description there's a lot more information. Not in this live. I do have some stuff in the description here, but it's mostly about my journey and finding these things, and not actually about this in itself. But I realize now I should have stabilized this stuff a lot quicker. Because not only does it have the metal aspect, because this is like a metal here. I wished I could think of, I know it's oxygen free. And then it's pyritized by iron and so anyway, can't go through that. So you can tell I'm crazy about messes. This is something amazing that I found that I do not know what it is. Some kind of fossil. This has nothing to do with wood. I don't believe this is wood. I didn't even know what it was. I thought it was clay when I found it, but it's got crystals coming out of it that I believe formed later. I have searched with the Google Gemini. It comes up with different things because the closer you get, the more I could just say reptilian it looks, because the structures you see here, these lines, they just keep getting smaller and smaller, like an infinity. It's the same pattern over and over and over. That's why I feel like it's not just a broken pattern. I do not know what this is. Good night, Nay. I just happened to look up and see that. Thank you so much for being here. Everybody, anybody that's here, thank you. I appreciate it. I just wanted to get this on video. I'm almost done. And this is another piece of it here. It's got a small piece of the skin there. I just wanted to get this stuff out of my living room. And that's where it is. And then you can see skin there, there. It's been knocked out here with a little piece left. But the top is what's interesting. Well, what I call the top. You know how that is. I have no idea what this is. It looks like some kind of fossil, but I would be willing to accept mud. That would be just life. I don't care. But because I would love to donate this somewhere if it is a fossil and that I know where it is. This came from upstream when I did the upstream videos, no, downstream videos of the impact crater creek. This is where these two pieces came from. And I thought this was clay, and I picked it up. I showed it on the video a little bit, and I did not realize it was a stone until I threw it down on the ground. And when it hit the other rocks, I heard the sound, and I knew right then that it was stone. So I reversed in the point to where I picked it back up and said, "Whoa, that's rock." This is a really nice piece of pottery that I found. I have no idea how old this is. None whatsoever. And I always keep my pottery. And one day I'll turn this in like you're supposed to, I guess. But right now I'm going to take better care of it than it would have been on the private property that I found it. And then I found me a jug, piece of a jug. And I absolutely love this kind of old stuff. I always think about moonshine in an old jug. I may just, I'd love to show this petrified wood. Not sure if you can see this. This whole thing is full of sparkles. You gotta get it out of focus before it shows how beautiful that is. The crystals in it. And the way I got this thing set up, and that's actually clean. The way I got this set up, I can't hardly see it. I got a big claw in front of my camera that I can't see through. This is one of my favorite pieces. That is a tomato, a mushroom, and an artichoke. It's somebody's dishes. I like finding pieces like this. To think that somebody once had this and it was their beautiful bowl or plate or dish. I've always liked that. This is another fossil. And this was, I believe, this is that ancient fern tree that they find a lot of that here. And the reason I believe it is because of the dots in it, the structures that I can see in there, especially when it's wet. I think this could be like the outside bark part of it. But that's just, it comes up on Google Lens that way. And this is another piece that I have no idea exactly what that is. Something that turned to stone. But I just don't know what that is. It looks like petrified poop. And I don't know the name of that right offhand. Or it comes over on Google Lens as a dinosaur egg. But I don't like to make claims like that until I have a professional look at it and see, you know, who's actually got experience with stuff like that. Or it could just be as much as a fungus that's been petrified. Because I don't know. I like the jugs and I like the petrified wood the best. And then just different things. And I believe this is would just be considered mica. And a lot of people say a lot of bad things about mica, but I like a mica. I always have since I was a kid. It's pretty and it's shiny. I think people talk bad about it because it's so plentiful, but that's not a reason for me. These were some crystals that I found in the same creek that I found this petrified wood. I had one really great adventure. I mean, I have never done anything like that in my life. A whole week out in a impact crater going through a creek, at least 5 miles in. So that was a 10-mile hike going downstream, and about 7 miles. You can see there's stuff inside of this. About 7 miles going upstream, and I actually walked so far upstream that the creek started running out. It was no longer because I figured out as I went that this creek was created by different artesian springs coming into the creek itself. Because the further I went upstream, the less flow it had. So that takes on any color that I give it, it'll take it on. But you can see that's a seam. That would be one side that's not been, and that's a seam. That's the side. As you can see the grow lines in it where it pushed through two different pieces. And I got a lot of that I made that light video with because I enjoy watching my AI try to figure out what it's got in front of it, because it's not your regular AI. I programmed it myself a long time ago when all this first started. And needless to say, the YouTube people that I was around despised it. And AI hadn't took off on YouTube yet. So it was like a lot of people didn't like that I was doing the things I was doing. But that's why I evolved into going to my creeks, finding my stuff, showing it like that. Then I would do things with it just to show that, yeah, I found this, it's mine. I'm not making this stuff up. When you see my stuff, it's mine. Sometimes I just like to move it around and do things with it to make it, different and where people can see it in a different light. And it turns it into a fantasy, which life is what you make it. And if you can't leave somebody alone and let them run their YouTube channel the way they want to, there's something wrong with you, not them. It's best just to leave folks alone. If you don't like it, you go the other way. Well, at least that's what I do. I would never, ever go on a YouTube channel and think I could tell somebody what to do with their channel. It's yours. That's why you say it's my YouTube. Some people call it vlog. I've heard people call it blog. I just happen to say YouTube channel. It's my channel. I appreciate everybody joining me today. If anybody has any questions, now would be a good time to ask. Hey, Miss Leah B. I'm so glad you made it. I hadn't been paying attention to my chat, so I'm just now looking at it. I don't know if people are still here or coming in. I never seen the thousands that I hear about. I don't know if I've got my settings wrong or they're not opened up right. But journals, that's beautiful. I'm glad you wrote that. I am a believer too. I appreciate everybody coming in and putting up with me showing my stuff. I don't do lives very often, but I do enjoy it. I guess if you go live and stay live for hours, you would probably have more of a bunch of people walking in. Yeah, I'm gonna have that looked at. This one, because Google Lens, the AI, says that it's a smushed egg or a piece of poop. Because it also said that about this. I don't know if I can get that down enough. About this. And I have a huge piece of that. Right. Let me move some of this. That over there with that pottery. This piece. Because this just looks like skin. And if you can see these squares here, or no, they're not squares, but these patterns, when you wet it, you can see it much better. But it's like an alligator skin. It just keeps getting smaller. And with this type of video, I can't manipulate this the way I can when I'm doing another style. Let me see if that does anything. You can see the different layers, how it just keeps breaking down one after another. Right, that's our turtle. Correct. See, it said that too. And then when you turn it, it changes to where in the back here, you see these crystals that are coming out of it? They're definitely crystals that are formed and coming out of it that illuminate when you hit them with a light, you can see that crystal a lot better. See all the little crystals that are in here? They're just, and they are coming from the stone because you can see down into the cavities. But that could just happen over, thousands of years from the silica running through and going through the cracks and forming crystals. But yeah, I have no idea what this is. And the two pieces that I have came from two different areas, but in the same area, like just a good distance apart. Let me see if I can get this back. I have to switch hands. But it's just amazing, and it's so heavy. The weight is just unbelievable. And just all the processes that it's been through and that it had the crystals in it. And like I said, I thought it was just a piece of like old bog bottom. And then I picked it up. It was on my video. And then until I threw it down, I didn't even know it was a rock. When it hit the other rocks, that's when I knew that this was a rock, that it wasn't what I thought it was. And Google Lens, it can find some things, but what's really strange is what it finds is what I've put online. Like when I Google Lens it, it shows my YouTube video. That's what it looks like with me too, but with it being old and the world was full of reptiles then, it could be anything. And then it's so thick, it just like it could be smushed, like it was crushed, and then it just kept its pattern. And that I found more than one piece in the same area is amazing too. But my main goal and my main find was this beautiful, brilliant Alabama quartz crystal petrified wood. I really like it. And Sharon, my next goal is to find me an arrowhead. I've had a lot of people want to send me arrowheads. Well, I don't want anybody to send me anything because I want to find it and I want it to be on video when I do. That way I'll have a record of it. My video vlog. Because I like making videos. I got an itch in me now. I'm wanting to go to I want to go to my artesian spring, but I've just got so much stuff. I got to put all this up. I got to get rid of all this. Is it in my living room? It has been on my tables. I will show you. I'm not ashamed. See how it is? I got it everywhere, even all in my fireplace. Rocks. So I've got to get this stuff. I've got it over there. Got it here. It's all in everything. These are other things that I found. Here's that beautiful wood that I found. I've cleaned it up. That looks like a claw. That looks like a pitchfork. This right here is just beautiful. That video did really well with this being on the front of it. And when I found it, it was just a little piece sticking out of the ground. You can see the log there. Isn't that amazing? And then see, here's another big crystal that's been worn down. I just got it. I forgot to put it in that light show I did. I love this piece here. It looks like a fish. You know, I thought I just don't want no more junk. I'm gonna find ways to get rid of it. I'm gonna start see, I've got so much beautiful stuff. This is what I did that rock show with. When I want, these will be saved. But see, that's dry. These will be saved, and I want to show people how beautiful these stones are when they're polished. And those are black crystals there. But I mean, a lot of this stuff is just absolutely beautiful. And I got some really deep reds and just real waxy. And a lot of this stuff I was calling seam, agate, I don't know. I just had to come up with something. It's just some beautiful stuff. And it's got some beautiful lines and structures inside of it. And I do have that brand new diamond it's called a diamond slant lap. I did an unboxing of it, so if anybody curious, you can go look. But I want to polish some of this stuff up where I can give it away or just get rid of it, because I have got so much of it around this house. And it's in my windows. Let me get my glasses and my coffee. And see, when I first started this, I said I'd never have piles of rocks. And now I do. Look at the size of that okra. It's huge. I'm letting it seed for next year. Look at that though. I got big hands and that joker is big. That one's even bigger over there. And there's a lot going down that way. That right there is sweet potato flour for my sweet potatoes. And then I have morning glory right there. Hello. I just finished showing some crystals and stuff, and I came outside to show everybody why I wanted to get rid of these rocks. See them in my window? And this is all my seeds for next year to grow these zinnia, because I think these are the best zinnia I've ever had. It's quite beautiful. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, if the light's coming through, but they attract a lot of butterflies and stuff. My hyacinth is blooming. That's always quite beautiful. And that's full of goldfish. See, more rocks. There's rocks over there on the ground. And I realized that I left my water on. I hope I didn't leave that thing running all night long. Or I'm gonna, oh, I did. It can't be very much. I'm live, reconnected. It's called skills. But summertime is just about over. A lot of my beautiful plants are finishing out. I'm back rock solid. I don't know if you've gone or not. I'm just trying to do a little bit here before I turn it off. There's no way I've got too far away. Look at the size of that okra. Unreal. I'm making this for seed for next year. Then this whole thing is just full of sweet potato. And these are really nice berries you make jelly out of. I got these out of the woods. I brought it home a while back. And then my friend Ava asked me about it. So I looked it up, and yeah, they're used to make jellies. Let me see. Look at this, how big these are. See, this is all going to go to seed for next year. We have 8 okra. And that's the sweet potato bloom. It's all in these sweet potato vines. And I've got more cabbage in there, and I've got what they call a purple collard green. I think that's the prettiest color I have. This vine did very well. All of that came from right there. That one vine goes up and it goes all the way around, and it came down really low. Next year I'm going to do a completely different flower. Okay, I believe I'm finished. I appreciate everybody's time. I'm going to get my day started. I do have another video that I'm going to put out tonight. It'll be the last one of that snake pit that I went into. I got up in there, and I'd been there before, and it was absolutely different than what happened when I got in there this time. You could actually walk in it last year, but after we had the floods and everything, all the old limbs and trees and all that stuff came out. So you can no longer, you can see in my videos that I was going over those huge log jams. It was really dangerous in there. And I should have stopped way before I did. I should have quit. But I kept going. Yeah, I always call myself careful, but I think careful is different levels. Some people, careful would mean not going at all. Don't go. My careful is go and try to not get hurt. But last December I got hurt really bad. I broke ribs. I pulled my tendons all out, messed my arms and legs up. And that's why I have a new rule that I don't get in cliffs. I stay out of the cliffs. If anybody wants to share any kind of event coming up, please do that. I've been lucky so far. Several people come into my lives because I might have 200, and I'll sit and watch them, and they will click up to 600 or 700. So always share your link. This is called a Christmas cactus because it starts blooming at Christmas time. This was on the porch of a lady that I grew up, and she passed away. So I took a piece of it about this big, and all these years later, I still have a plant, and her name was Faye. I'll just say Faye, and that was her name. I think I'm just going to stick this right here and see if that'll grow for me. They usually grow really easily, and they bloom. That one happens to be pink and white. The white is on this side, and the pink is on this side here. And it's actually like a orchid. It can grow just on wood. Where it naturally grows, it'll grow on wood. But the garden's coming to an end, and I'm already thinking about next year. That's why I've already started with my seeds. I've got seeds in the window with my rocks that I have found. And you can see some of them are just absolutely beautiful. I mean, I don't think there's a such thing as an ugly rock. You just get spoiled, and they become more, you become more particular about what you want. I sure do appreciate everybody, and I love being on YouTube. I really enjoy all my friends, my subscribers, my members. Everybody be blessed, and thank you for coming. I truly appreciate it. Y'all have a wonderful night, evening, morning, wherever you are when you're watching this. Just remember to be blessed. Be happy. It is a choice, believe that or not. Have a wonderful evening.